I buy into Mahomes as much as I buy into Peterman.
Right.
That's sad.
I think Peterman is going to do a better job and be more successful.
So where's Cousins going?
How about Buffalo?
The two places I think he might end up would be the Dolphins, and I forgot the other one.
Doubt the Dolphins. It's going to either be
the Dolphins or the Jets. Those are the two.
Jets, Bills, and Cleveland. Those are the three.
No, he is not going to motherfucking Cleveland. No free agent is going to sign with the fucking Cleveland Browns, especially one that will command actual amounts of money.
Oh, no, wait, scratch that. It wasn't Cleveland. It was Denver. That's what I meant.
Come to Buffalo, please.
Right? You guys are what? You guys are literally a quarterback away from a Super Bowl.
More like better playoff run away.
Well, maybe a quarterback and a star wide receiver.
We got Kelvin Benjamin who did fine.
Right.
Look at this. This is a nice little fun story.
A slot receiver that can run. Someone like a Ted Ginn.
Oh, yeah.
When did we jump up to 52?
We jumped up to 52. We have 52 subscribers, guys.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. So, if you're a grandma and you're looking for a Bray Wyatt action figure, who could help you with that? How about Bray Wyatt?
The action figure beat Bray Wyatt in the match.
That's not actually Bray Wyatt. It's just a guy who looks like Bray Wyatt. He was on Duck Dynasty. That's the swerve here.
But yeah, we have 52 subscribers because Gunner and I started chilling a lot.
I'm okay.
Jacob started chilling too. But I basically went through West and I asked pretty much everybody. And then I went through my Steam list and I asked everybody. Everybody that I still talked to, basically, that I knew. So I haven't asked any of like my personal friends or like, you know, it did any real shilling anywhere else. But I'm expecting y'all to get your relatives and your cousins and your friends and your fucking the things you put your penises inside, whether that be your right hand and your left hand, to go subscribe.
What if it's an actual human person, but every time you talk about wrestling, she says that you're a nerd, and that if you want to keep having sex, that you should stop talking about wrestling? What then?
You say,
why the fuck would you tell anyone that you watch wrestling at that point?
Yeah.
Why would you even?
Why would you watch wrestling? To be.
Why do you watch wrestling?
My dick would suck inside and spot my body cavity and run away. Because I'd be like, no.
I don't
tell her that. All right, then, bitch, you're gonna have to stop watching fucking Wags of Atlanta or whatever that shit is.
No.
Right.
No, it's much worse.
How could it be worse than that?
Tell her to stop watching Love and Hip Hop.
No, fuck that. Love and Hip Hop is great.
I just can't.
That show is awesome.
This reminds me of like so much. There's too much New York in that show.
We got 36 views on our last video. For some perspective, the previous three had 4, 8, and 3.
So we're doing something right. Are you pre-showing right now?
Yes, we are on the air.
Sweet, just making sure.
Damn, you guys are getting inside scoops. The inside of the inside scoop.
We be doing some bants, yo.
We're inside baseball.
Shit, we need to start Gunner or anyone else that likes football. We need to start an Inside the XFL podcast.
Oh hell yes!
Why don't
I'm
you
already
just
see.
do
I'm
it-
already following XFL Twitter accounts. Let's fucking go.
Why don't you guys do it on here? Well, not on here, but you know, like on the Smark Snark, like.
Yeah, we could do that. That's absolutely.
I was suggesting earlier that they should bring back the name from old school football, the Triangles. Give it to Raleigh.
Funny.
It'd be awesome. Why the fuck not?
Posting the live link to our Facebook. We reached 100 people on our Facebook this week.
That's weird because I didn't pay Facebook any money for that.
Wait, I didn't either.
Holy shit! Something must be broken over there because normally, if you want people who were liked your page or whatever to see something you post, you have to pay. I have another page I run that has it's like 50 or 60 people following it. That
Right.
it's just memes, right? But I'll post something and like 4 people will see it, and then if I want the rest of the people that are following the page, it wants me to pay to boost the post.
Oh yeah, you boost the post because it makes it pop up in everybody else's timeline. But that pops up in your regular timeline. If you go to the group, you'll see it anyway.
Yeah, but that means the person has to go to the meme page, like, to see if it should just show up in their goddamn feed. I shouldn't have to pay for that.
Some things do, some things don't. I'm a part of a few groups on Facebook where they don't. Or where it pops up in my feed anyway. I don't see everything, but I see some things. It depends on how active it is.
Here's just the facts, man. Facebook is a shitty platform.
Absolutely.
It is a broken ass
Seriously.
fucking shitty platform.
It's time for someone to do to Facebook what Facebook did to MySpace. It would be hilarious if it was MySpace. Or Friendster.
It'd be funnier if it was Bebo.
Oh my god, yeah.
I bet SoundCloud could do it. All the kids love SoundCloud.
Right.
Oh, yes.
It'd be just like a tout, but with like sound clips.
Hey, Omega.
I've also had Kaze Minare fucking stuck in my head too.
Yeah, sorry about being late these past couple of weeks. I'm up living with my relatives now, and they, for whatever reason, on Thursdays we eat dinner a bit late. So
Fine.
anyway, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Let's fucking do it then. Yank, why don't you hit that theme song?
I'll have to be clicked into the right window. Hold on.
That'd be nice. That time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode number 289 of the Smark Snark podcast. My name is Gunner, and guess what? We're doing this live once again here. Over there is my co-host. That is Mega BR.
It was a good week for multiples of 5.
Agreed.
You know, numbers 15 and 25.
Yes. Also, is our wonderful technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
Just kidding, I'm fucking with you. It works fine.
I was hearing you breathe, and I was like, "Are you gonna say something?" Son of a bitch. The Russell West champion Weir's here.
How's it going, everyone?
Shao Kahn.
Man, this is just as scary as Sasha Banks doing a dive.
Matt Jester.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
And finally, Save Us Dog.
Yeah, there's I didn't realize 14 was a multiple of 5 though.
Ooh.
I mean, to be honest, my math education is very, very low.
All that
Well,
I
at
know
least
is,
you're not Steiner mathing. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I know, because he's good at math, dude.
he
You
is.
tell me you can think of those equations, those percentages on just off the top of your head? I couldn't.
It's
All that
impressive.
He went to a highly educated university. Okay,
He did. It was.
That's
Michigan.
a shoot.
That's more made up than the thing that's on top of Donald Trump's head.
Well, all that I know about math is that 3 ain't enough. I need 5. And that's and if anybody else gets that in the room, I will laugh.
Should we just get into the news?
I don't know about that, but I know 8 is enough.
Oi!
Did somebody say
Nobody's going to get that one.
WWE has signed EC3, is in the process of signing Bobby Lashley, and is likely to do a program with Brock Lesnar. WWE also signed Jeremy Borash to work at NXT and the Performance Center. Ladies and gentlemen, hell is frozen over. Jeremy Borash is working for the WWE.
I never thought he would leave TNA.
Nobody ever thought he would leave TNA.
The day I read that and I had to stop and just look at this guy for a little bit, just wow, times are really changing.
I'm stoked for Lashley Lesnar.
I'm not.
Oh, I don't know about that. Lashley's gotten better in his professional wrestling work, and a lot of people still know him from MMA.
He's gotten better, but his matches just always feel so bland, so generic.
Well,
I can't explain it. They're always good, but I'm never excited watching one of his matches. The only thing that would be fun in that match is Brock just fucking killing him.
Not even a competitive match, just him having death and being able to sell it, and them having an
Your robot.
Yeah, I don't want to watch fake MMA anymore. Okay, and there are enough people in the WWE and NXT that do that are getting unnecessary pushes.
Well, the program with Goldberg looked pretty bad on paper. It turned out to be pretty good. So, if Lashley were to, and Lashley can actually go, unlike Goldberg, for the most part. So, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Here's the problem, though. Goldberg is an actual star still. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Lashley has some people that know him at MMA, but those MMA fans are not going to watch the WWE because he's in it. They didn't watch TNA because he's in it. It'd be cool, but I'm much more excited for EC3. He has a new leash on life in the WWE.
Oh God, yes! Everybody who was there at Takeover last night has a new lease on life. Ricochet actually gets to accomplish things on the biggest stage of them all. War Machine gets to contribute to the tag team division and be a better, Akeem and Razor, whatever the fuck their names are. I'm just
Occam's razor.
Occam razor.
You get it?
I get it.
Occam.
You guys get it?
Get it. I get it.
Rock 'em and sock 'em. Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty! I just don't. Just please, War Machine, be better than them.
Well, they
Are they
better
keeping
than
their
that.
name? I mean, they got introduced as War Machine. You think they'll keep the
More
name?
than
Yes.
likely, they're going to keep their name.
If
Wow.
they were going to keep the
EC3.
name, you would have seen Trevor Ricochet Man, except with
Yeah, you
whatever
would
the fuck
have
their real
seen
names is.
Rick O'Shea, RICKO''SHEA.
Well, I don't know. They've done those crowd shots before. I mean, Asuka was Kana in the crowd, and she came out as Kana, and then she announced she was Asuka. So
Right. I mean, I could see people changing things over. We had Rockstar Spud here too.
they could do it where not to conflict with Heavy Machinery. They could just be called War Horse instead of War Machine.
The War Horseman.
Oh, for the
Yeah, we already
fuck.
got too many horse things going on right now.
All of a sudden, you get Trojan knocking at the door asking for some sort of sponsorship deal, and/or a lawsuit. I don't know. Pick your poison.
Preferably both.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Rey Mysterio's Rumble appearance was a one-time deal, though the two sides could come to an agreement if WWE is willing to accept that Rey does not want to work a full-time schedule.
Yes,
Please keep it a one-time
I
deal.
love the one-time deal gimmick.
Okay.
Someone needed that after RVD lost it.
I do not need to see Rey Mysterio on my screen every week.
He
Not
looked
every
great.
week. I mean, about the same time as Lesnar.
He looked great physically, but if you actually watch what he did in the Rumble, he did nothing. Like, if he wasn't the featured move, he literally stood there. He is very old and frail, man. I think WWE should know they don't want him working a full-time schedule. He's going to break in half.
Absolutely. And you know what the worst part is? At this point, they'd stick him in 205 Live. And that's exactly where you would stay.
Yeah.
I think Ray's like too much of a big star to be stuck on 205, but I can totally see them doing that just to pop maybe a few more viewers in the 205, but really 205 is a dead horse. No one gives a shit.
I still want to see him against like all of those cruiserweights, like Cedric and Mustafa and all them. We could have great matches
Hell
with
yeah,
them.
especially Mustafa.
Well, it's not 1997 anymore, and that's the sad part about it. I understand that we don't want to see that, but there's also the fact that there's Jushin Thunder Liger as well, who's getting also in the same age-ish area, but at the same time, it's kind of like, Well, Yankob, I hope you're sitting down because Alicia Fox broke her tailbone during the Rumble rehearsals, forcing her out of the match and the Mixed Match Challenge. Her replacement was Kairi Sane.
For the Rumble, for the Mixed Match Challenge, she has been replaced by, what's her name again?
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose.
Mandy
Yeah.
Rose.
Gold Rose.
Okay.
Rose Gold.
Rose Gold, yeah.
Here's
Rose
what
Gold.
that proves. It proves that there is a God and that he hates everything that I like.
Yep.
No, it just proves to you that the Curse of the Dragon exists.
Yes, that too.
Ugh. Poor Alicia Fox. She cannot catch a fucking break. Even when she gets good stuff. Like, they fuck her over with it.
Absolutely. That sucks. But hey, man, that tag team of Goldust and Mandy Rose is perfect.
Is it?
All right, moving on. Ronda Rousey is claiming that she has a full-time deal with WWE and wore Roddy Rocker's actual jacket during her appearance. The hope is that The Rock will be her partner to take on Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania to blow off that feud from WrestleMania 31. Rock is scheduled to start filming Jungle Cruise after, and he may not be allowed for insurance reasons, so it might be Kurt Angle instead. Nia Jax and Nikki Bella expressed displeasure at the moment being taken away from 30 other women making history, while Sasha Banks said she had nothing nice to say, so she wouldn't say anything. Well, I have a lot of not nice things to say about that, so I'm going to say a whole bunch. Fuck the WWE for making that fucking happen. That was the dumbest thing that you could have possibly done, beyond putting her in the actual Rumble. If you actually put her in the Rumble and made her actually wrestle, then we would have had problems and bigger issues than what we have now. This is like the second worst thing you could have done.
I mean, I thought it was a lot better than her being in the Rumble, that's for sure. I mean, you knew it was going to happen, so I thought they did it about as well as they could have.
Yeah, that was much better than her actually being in the Rumble.
Well, what day pass was for the Monday and not the Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
Yeah,
This
way
is
better, but they weren't gonna do that. They wanted to create the buzz for Monday because everybody.
And then that's when they shot themselves in the foot because Ronda was not on Raw come Monday. So they actually, tripped over their own feet there. They should have had Ronda on to keep up the hype and bring it better.
She just walks out and just points at the sign, just smiles like a dumbass.
What I had heard is that she only had like a 1 day pass to like leave Columbia and go to Philadelphia, and she had to come back like right after that because she's still filming whatever movie she's filming.
Yes.
I'm not like a big MMA guy. How good of a promo is she?
She's fine.
She's a moderately decent talker.
Part of the issue with her is that so much of her character was wrapped up around the fact that she was unbeatable before she, of course, got fucking beat twice. Yeah. So it's we don't know what kind of promo she's going to be. Because before she was a great promo because she could say basically whatever she wanted. What are you gonna say? No one's touched her. But now people more than fucking touch her and knocked her out twice.
Right. But here's the problem with that. The game passed Ronda by, and I understand that completely. I understand her move to WWE, and I completely respect it. I think that it's for the long-term health benefits for her. Far outweigh, and the money that she could make far outweigh, her sensibilities and being able to walk in 10 years' time. However, it's the WWE, and now Ronda Rousey is your biggest star, period. Beyond anybody else that is currently in the WWE right now, Ronda Rousey is your number one draw.
Nuh-uh. Ramen Noodle is the number one draw.
Well, Ramen Noodle is the number one draw because it's made out of lines. There's too many lines. Too many lines. No one? God damn it. I set you up for this.
Fella.
Yeah, that was old, dude.
Lobster head.
Thank you. Fuck. Set you guys up for this shit.
I just love how they built this historic first time ever Rumble for a month, talking about how this is such a big deal. They had Asuka win it, right? All of a sudden, here comes Ronda to steal everyone's spotlight, and now no one's talking about the women's Rumble. They're just talking about Ronda pointing at a sign.
I have to bring this up real quick. Our old friend, Mr. Dave Meltzer, as saying that this is actually kayfabe heat to have Ronda get put over. Anybody think that's correct?
No, I think that that's a simplification of what's going on.
I think yes and no. I think I think it's probably, as they say, a work. They are annoyed about
it. It's clearly setting up Asuka Rousey at WrestleMania.
Not at WrestleMania, but sometime down the line. That's where the two are going to collide. SummerSlam, perhaps.
Yeah.
Would be the more likely choice.
Well,
and
speaking of WrestleMania, WrestleMania 35 looks to be from MetLife Stadium in New York. New Japan's next Long Beach show has sold out. It took just 20 minutes to sell 4,800 tickets. 4,800 plus tickets for the Pyramid at Long Beach State University. Also, Miz and Maurice's baby girl is due 2 days before WrestleMania. Joey Janela's Spring Break 2 on April 6th will feature Janela versus the Great Sasuke.
Sas.
Okay. The first match in the U.S. for him since King of Trios 2012.
Hell yeah. Joey Janela's Spring Break number 2. The best show of WrestleMania weekend. That
show of the year.
It was the greatest show, yeah. That besides, well, yeah.
I mean, besides the NXT, maybe the ROH show. That's the best show of the weekend.
Yeah. But I remember just everything with Spring Break last year was amazing, and I'm confident that it's going to be equally as crazy and hilariously fun this year again.
So you think they'll get Henry to do a ref bump again?
Probably. WrestleMania back at MetLife Stadium. Whole joyous day.
Ballsy.
Right.
Just for the weather factor is always there. I assumed if they were going to do that area again, they would have done Philly, because they've been talking about Philly for so fucking long.
They have. Well, I mean, they gave Philly the Rumble, and like that's the second biggest weekend. Obviously.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the thing now is that next year's Rumble is going to be at Chase Field in Arizona, the baseball stadium. It kind of opens some doors up.
It does.
For some other places. Think of like say San Francisco at AT&T Stadium or whatever the Giants play at. Right.
So an outdoor stadium in winter, but in the desert.
No, it's a retractable roof. Yeah. In Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Also, I'm fully expecting at this point them to go someplace completely odd with WrestleMania 36. Minnesota looking at you.
No.
Vancouver looking at you. Someplace completely outside the box, essentially, because they've gone to they've gone to 3 safe locations in the past 3 years. Orlando, New Orleans, and New York.
Well,
so we'll see where they end up.
Part of the issue with this is you have Orlando that you know they're going to go back to in 3 to 4 or 5 years. And Vegas and Los Angeles are both going to be opening brand new stadiums in 2020, 2021-ish. Yeah, they'll be running Mania at both of them too. So
$5 says that WrestleMania 36 is in a town that an XFL football team will be in.
Ooh, there's cross promotion.
I'd be willing to bet that the same town that gets WrestleMania 36 will have an XFL team in it. But we'll get into that later on, because we are definitely going to get to XFL as a part of this podcast network kind of thing. It'll probably be its own show, but we will definitely, once that starts firing up and there's more rumors, something more substantial to talk about, we'll definitely have like sideshows of the XFL. But now it's time for the 15-minute time limit. For those of you who are new, and thank you very much for subscribing. We really appreciate it. For those of you guys who are new, we talk about for about 15 minutes or so particular topics of the week. Usually after a pay-per-view or a big weekend like this, we run through the card and we give our impressions on each of the matches. So we're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Undisputed Era defeated Authors of Pain to retain the NXT tag titles. This was okay.
I liked it. I was a bit surprised that AOP didn't come out on top, but hell, maybe they're going to get the Raw call-up pretty soon. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Raw needs teams so bad, especially if Jordan and Rollins are as injured as reported.
Absolutely.
I think it's a pretty safe bet that they're getting the call-up sooner rather than later.
Velveteen Dream defeated Cassius Ohno.
Great fucking match, dude. Both of these guys put on a hell of a show in this match.
I am all in on Velveteen Dream. He's incredible.
Velveteen's entrance is the best. Like, it's the best part about him. I love him, don't get me wrong, but that entrance was fucking dope.
When he knocked out Ono at 29 seconds, that was incredible. And then, like, he celebrated and got up and
screwed himself. Yeah.
Do you know who the man in his entrance was?
The guy who made him bite the pillow later that night.
Hell
God damn.
If anybody's familiar with Chikara, it's Blaster McMassive of the,
Oh, it is.
of
Oh,
the
shit.
Station Corporation.
Oh shit!
I knew he looked vaguely familiar, but I definitely would not have without hearing that.
Is that Orlando Jordan TNA gimmick better or like even good?
No, it's a full blown Prince gimmick. It's actually a lot more like Prince than I thought it was going to be. He's come a long way in just a year. Like if you go back and watch him a year ago, he was not really any good.
God,
just in this amount of time, he's really understood like what the character's motivation is, and he's gotten a lot more into it, and he's just phenomenal.
All right, let's not get too far off on a tangent here. Ember Moon defeated Shayna Baszler to retain the NXT Women's title. Sweet.
Ugly match. Ugly match.
Yeah, I would say this.
I thought it was so ugly that it was good.
I am in the minority. I felt this match was okay. A lot of arm work and a lot of attacks to work for that arm bar. I did think the finish was kind of stupid though, just a random roll up out of nowhere like that.
Let me put it this way. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Well, Femme Baron Corbin, I guess we should be calling her Baroness Corbin now. Still needs some work if you ask me, but at least this set Moon up for what you would call a good, fun performance at the Royal Rumble. Basically, Face trying to overcome the odds of a semi-broken arm. Didn't work exactly, of course. Moon was thrown over the top rope, but
I thought that was kind of boring that she was put into the match. It was cool that both NXT champions, women's and men's, were put into their respective Royal Rumble matches, but I thought it was kind of boring that it was like Ember Moon is all taped up and stuff. If you let her work and didn't tape her up, I think she'd be okay. But otherwise, it's like, ugh. Shayna Baszler is bowling shoe ugly when it comes to wrestling. It's very, very, very green on her right now. Like, Sheamus 2009 green.
I like everything about Shayna Baszler except her wrestling. It's just so poor. Her gimmick is awesome. She fits. I mean, the promos fit like a glove. Like you can tell that's naturally her, and she feels good in the character. Christ, when she gets in the ring, she is not any good. Right now, she has the possibility to be. She needs to spend a good amount of time with Kyle fucking O'Reilly. Learn to really make that hybrid of MMA and wrestling because he's someone who knows how to do that perfectly. And Bobby, too.
Yeah, all right. So moving on here, Aleister Black defeated Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match, which was dope as fuck.
Oh, good lord.
Fucking amazing. It was a big spot fest, a lot of hardcore spots. That fucking, I don't know what it was, where an Adam Cole like landed on the chairs. God damn, that looked painful.
Yes,
but I love
that. That was the spot of that match, and that made everybody's liver quiver. Period. You could not look at that, especially when they replayed it in slow motion, for God's sake, and not have your stomach turn just a little bit.
You could tell that he took that directly on his back.
Honestly, though, I thought Cole should have gone over in this match, but I'm fine with Black going over.
Cole moving up to the next roster is the whole Undisputed Era moving up to the next roster would not surprise me in the least. After
Man, Cole has about a bajillion brownie points right now. He's gotten the shit kicked out of him. He cut his fucking hand wide open in this match, and then still went on and fought in the Royal Rumble the next day. Like,
it's pretty awesome.
Dude gets it. He's gonna. There's a rocket that's coming very soon to get strapped directly to Adam Cole's ass.
Yep, baby. Andrade Cien Almas defeated Johnny Gargano to retain the NXT title. What a match!
God damn.
Officially,
Sure.
officially from the Melts, 5 stars.
Wow.
Yep, the first 5-star match since John Cena versus CM Punk in 2011, and only the third 5-star match from WWE since 1997.
That's some good stats right there. What a match! What a story to tell, and then the way to end it too. Like to end the night, I thought even mean the match.
I see. To me, a lot of people would say that's the only blemish, is the ending. To me, the ending made it even better. Like he came so close. It was clear that Selena, if she didn't fuck around with it, Johnny probably would have won. He got fucking beat clean. Andrade looked great. Looked like $1 million. Johnny looked like $1 million, and you got the next 2 matches to see. The way I'm looking at Tyler Black going over is he's going to go on and challenge for the title at Mania, and you've got the 2 matches from Mania. Black versus Almost for the title, Gargano versus Ciampa, street fight or death match or whatever.
Yes, the return of the Psycho Killer.
Kick a man when he's down. I mean, really, that was the whole statement said there, and that was exactly what needed to be said, and exactly what the Psycho Killer would have done. And that was a perfect way to end the pay-per-view, in my opinion, to leave you wanting more, and I hope that we see more in the future. Just so we all know, the Dusty Rhodes Classic is coming back, coming up soon, and there's a few other surprises that have already been spoiled on NXT, which sound to be very interesting. Moving on here, we're going to
before we move on, can I just say that shirt that Tommaso Ciampa had is like one of the best shirts they've made in fucking forever. It's beautiful.
Agreed. Moving on here to the Royal Rumble. Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado defeated TJP, Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak.
Geeks.
Pre-show.
Who cares?
Geeks. The Revival defeated Gallows and Anderson.
It existed.
That was a little bit surprising.
No, it's not. It's just a Revival, and they're trying to come into their own. So, enjoy the Revival. By the way, getting promo time and getting in-ring time a whole hell of a lot. Bobby Roode defeated Mojo Rawley to retain the U.S. title. Thank God that wasn't Adam Cole.
Yeah, talk about stuff you don't care about. Oy, Mojo Rawley.
Oh, I gotta love Mojo sandbagging the fuck out of Bobby Roode's finish there.
Sandbagging the fuck out of just about everything else, too. AJ Styles defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to retain the WWE title to the surprise of no one.
Yeah, it was a fine little match. I still think this storyline is stupid as shit, but oh well.
I'm still shocked they started the pay-per-view with this match.
How have they fucked up like in every AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens match in the past like 8 months?
Exactly, and it's just ridiculous that this seems to be fallen into the Ninjas and Pirates sort of thing, where you have the larger quantity and you're going to lose. Usos defeated Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin 2-0 to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
That was a little bit of a surprise. We thought when the first part of the match, before the first fall, went super long, it would be thinking, did you guys forget the pinfall somewhere? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, after the first fall, they quickly, as far as compared to the first segment, hit the second fall out of nowhere. And everybody was pretty much shocked, because the way these things are usually booked by the WWE is one team gets a fall, the other team gets the fall, and then there's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's crazy anymore for one team to get 2 falls just in a row like that.
Has that happened since like MVP versus Benoit in like 06 or 07? 07, I think it was.
Yep, you're right. It's happened a couple times. It's not very often that it does, but I'm perfectly happy that it did. So then it was the Men's Royal Rumble, which I had no idea it was going to be then. I got home just in time to get to the halfway point, and Shinsuke Nakamura won the Men's Royal Rumble in what the most of us called. I'd like to say we did really well on our predictions and trying to telegraph this particular Rumble, and it was extremely satisfying for the end.
Say it was one of the better Rumbles in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was pretty laid out pretty well. You had your Kofi spot, you had Elias doing his thing. But honestly, Rumbles are pretty predictable, and this one was too. But what really makes them, in my opinion, are the surprises, and there were some very legitimate surprises this year compared to years past. Mysterio, obviously, yeah, exactly, probably the biggest one. Well, I mean, even Cole coming out and the Hurricane of all people. And
Cole was the biggest surprise to me, actually, out of all of them, because he got so beat the shit out of the night before. So, wow, crazy.
I really was not expecting fucking Hurricane at all.
I'm happy.
No one was expecting the Hurricane at all.
Yeah, North Carolina guy. Like, why would he go to Philadelphia for a Rumble spot? And I'm amazed.
Cena should have let him choke slam him.
Yep,
I agree. Definitely.
He should have just. He has no reason not to. It would have been hilarious. Everyone would have loved it.
He's done it successfully a few times. It's just that he just didn't have it apparently tonight. Cesaro and Sheamus defeated Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan to win the Raw Tag titles. If Jason Jordan isn't the biggest geek of all time, I don't know who is.
Can we just say are we finished with Seth versus the Bar already? I'm beyond tired of this.
So many fucking matches.
Too many matches. We've gotten fatigued with these two tag teams. I mean, now that they're tag team champions again, let the Bar face somebody else, for crying out loud.
We've reached Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair levels of I'm sick of this fucking match.
Have we reached Del Rio Sheamus?
No, we've reached Ziggler versus Kingston.
I think that's fucking close. All of it, and I reached Cena versus Orton level.
Del Rio, Sheamus as well. But yeah, no, that's just we're done. We're done. Please, no more. Please, no more.
Seriously,
no mas. Brock Lesnar defeated King Braun Strowman to retain the Universal title. I don't want to talk about this match.
No surprise.
No. This match was fucking awesome. The crowd was so dead.
It's crazy.
They were just the second the men's rumble was done, the crowd just died because it was a great fucking rumble. But that's an hour-long thing. And this match was 12 or 10 minutes of just straight 100 miles an hour fucking madness. The crowd did not react, and it killed them twice as much for the Royal Rumble for the women.
If this swapped with where the men's Rumble was on the card, I think that would have been a better show.
Yeah,
in my opinion, get all the singles matches out of the way and do the two Rumbles.
Can we take just a second to talk about how Brock and Braun almost single-handedly probably could have ended a potato famine?
Oh, God, yes. The fact that Braun Strowman accidentally stiffed Brock, and then Brock gave him a receipt big time, and damn.
That's what Brock wants. That's every time that Brock gets in the ring. That's why he likes fighting with Joe. He wants to be snug. He wants to beat the shit out of people. And Braun is so fucking huge that he doesn't know his own strength, and he's gonna lay a potato in, and then Braun. And it's just receipt. That's how it goes, and that's why it's fun to watch those two fight, because they're just big fucking idiots.
Yeah, beating the living shit out of each other. When fucking Brock punched him in the head, that first time, I was like, Jesus,
dude, I'm sure.
Fuck.
I'm sure when he stood back up again, he was just Brock was just like, God fucking damn.
Seriously.
The two seem to have, I mean, ever since they met in that Royal Rumble match, the two seem to have this nasty sort of, I don't like you sort of tendency towards them.
Because Brock knows Braun is good.
Right, exactly.
Brock knows Braun is good enough to take that spot, and he's damn near at that spot.
Right. I just hope it was fun to watch, but I really want to talk about Raw the next night, and perhaps the Mix Max challenge as well at the end of that. That wasn't that difficult. I could have probably flipped that stage, to be perfectly honest. That didn't look hard.
Let's get to the women's Royal Rumble that Asuka won,
which was fantastic. I thought it was a good Royal Rumble match. A lot of half the nostalgia there. A couple NXT people, a few people from NXT should have been in there, but they weren't.
A few more should have, yeah.
Well, you had all the women from Raw 25 take advantage of that opportunity, and they kind of made it a celebration of the women's division as a whole. Obviously, Molly Holly said she wasn't going to be in it, and she was. Lita said she got snubbed at Raw 25, and she wasn't. She was in the match. Vicky Guerrero, who I kind of, in the back of my mind, I thought, at some point, we're going to hear "Excuse Me" after the buzzer, and then we did. And that was good. So I think overall, of course, Trish being number 30, lock it up with Mickie James and Beth Phoenix back with Natalya, and even Ember Moon being in the match against Asuka. I thought they really set it up nicely as far as these moments. The wrestling itself was not great, but I mean, when is it really in a Rumble? I think it did everything it needed to do. I would have scored it higher than the men's Rumble, just based on all that.
If they cut to everything before the Rousey thing, I would agree.
Yeah. See, it wasn't as good as the men's Rumble, but it was still a good Rumble. Like, the thing is with the men's Rumble, that was one of the best Rumbles in a very long time, just in general. And the women's Rumble is also really good too. But you've got the men's Rumble already happened 2 hours earlier, and then you just get done with Lesnar and fucking Braun Strowman potatoing each other and just throwing shit around. It's going to be tough to get a whole arena back up all the way for another fucking Royal Rumble match. That's just hard.
They should have moved probably the men's Rumble to like the second match, or maybe even made it the very first match, and then
or something like that. Yeah,
put Brock and Kane and Strowman in the middle, so that people had time to breathe.
Overall, though, this was fun to watch. The first women's Rumble was great, except for the end, of course, because until of course the finish, that sort of thing.
I will say
I
popped harder for Vicky than I popped for anybody else the whole pay-per-view.
Dude, I popped harder for Molly Holly than like
Molly Holly. Yep.
Well,
I was so happy. I was really happy for Lita too, although she should have been in the Rumble much less time. She's very clearly not in the shape to be doing this anymore, just physically. Right. Like, she's broken down, which is sad. But I was super happy that she got a spot in it, because I definitely did not think she would be wrestling.
I'm disappointed that there was no Lay Cool in the match. I thought that would have been cool.
That would have been nice. If instead of Kelly, we could have got Layla, that would have been awesome.
Yes, that would have been amazing.
Kelly, what the hell was up with that Kelly shot with the crotch? For like
it's Kelly. I mean, come on.
This is true. All right. That's it for the 15-minute time limit. I think we were at 15 minutes ish.
Wait, what's that?
A little bit over.
I think that's Yankum. He's pointing to the buzzer sign.
He's pointing to the buzzer sign.
No pyro is going off anymore, because we got to pay the license for some fucking song.
Oh, God damn it. All right, so we're going to do the ratings. Since Vassar is not here this week, we will get our resident net jester here to read the ratings.
Thank you very much. With the ratings for this week, Impact Wrestling drew 310 up from 309 last week. That's 1,000.
Here we go.
Okay, can't forget the 1,000. I mean, this is Impact. You'd think, are you sure it's not 310 million? But no, it's Impact. Anyway, from Raw, this week, 3.395 million, down from their high of last week from Raw 25 of 4.53 million. That was expected, but personally, I didn't think it was as bad as it was going to be. And finally, SmackDown this week, 2.509 million, down from 2.58 million the previous week. And that was the ratings.
With birthdays, it's Save Us Dog.
All right, happy birthday today on the 1st to Stanley Haru Sasaki, Herb Welch, Walter Sirius, Liz Chase, Mr. Death, and Rolando Vera. And then tomorrow, happy birthdays to Tony Gonzalez, to Tinker Todd, to Ray Steele, to John Pesic, to Jerry Mercado, and to Jerry Ralph. Then happy birthdays on the 3rd to Kerry Von Erich, and also to Johnny Balbo. Then on the 4th, happy birthdays to Ed Gantner and Farmer Boy Epo. Then on the 5th, happy birthday to Justin Honeycutt, Crazy Luke Graham, Felipe Hanley, Gennaro Contreras, and Sam Avery. And then happy birthdays on the 6th to Pedro Martinez, to Vic Holbrook, and to Maniac Mike Gordon. And then on the 7th to Hans Schmidt, to Jack Reynolds, to Tony Stetcher, and to Elmer Ray Gerald. And those are the birthdays.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega PR.
Yes, this weekend, wrestling history, circa 1957, where Dory Funk Sr. defeated Dizzy Davis to win the Amarillo NWA North American Heavyweight title in Amarillo, Texas. Jump to 1993, where the Bad Breed, Axel and Ian Rotten defeated John Hawk and Bobby Duncan Jr. in Dallas, Texas, to win the Global Wrestling Tag Team title. And in 1999, Trent Acid and Billy Rail defeated the Nation of Immigration for the Jersey All-Pro Tag Team titles. And that was this weekend, wrestling history.
That's my new favorite tag team name of all time.
The Nation of Immigration.
That's amazing.
Oh, God. If you want to watch some fun stuff, go find some Jersey All-Pro from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's hilarious. Also, rest in peace, Trent Acid. Happy Trails this week to Adam Cole, who was at one point scheduled to answer Bobby Roode's pre-show U.S. title open challenge, as was Dolph Ziggler.
Happy Trails to Kenny Omega. I'm taking it.
God damn it.
To Kenny Omega, who in the midst of Bullet Club infighting said he did not want to go to WWE without Kota Ibushi, and also remarked that the way they keep the New Day and the spots they're in make him wary about joining the company. Also, Cape Bryant says happy trails to Johnny Gargano.
Oh.
You don't want to say that out loud too much. Well, we'll probably get into that at another podcast. All right, so what should we watch this week in wrestling? Let's see who we're going to start with. Oh, you know it's you. Yankum DDS.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
There could not possibly be more shit for you to pick from.
I know.
Even if you don't watch much,
I completely missed Raw this week. The only wrestling
you could pick the Rumble. You could pick NXT.
I didn't get to watch Takeover. The only thing I got to watch was like the Rumble. So
pick something on the Rumble. Pick something.
All right. I guess watch Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman potato the crap after each other, or out of each other. But the best part is going to be hello. I hate you, dog. I fucking hate you. The best part is going to be the lead-up vignette when they show yet again Braun Strowman pulling down that lighting fixture with the grappling hook. Like, that's just...
I'm not finished.
Wow, that's my shit right there.
Discourse, what should we watch this week in wrestling? If you're even here.
I don't think he is.
All right, Shokana.
I think we should watch Asuka versus Sasha Banks, and also Sasha Banks versus herself in that match, because goddamn, she nearly killed herself like twice in that match.
She really wanted her chin to fall very fast, very far. What can we watch this week in wrestling?
From NXT TV, I should definitely watch the Tyler Bate versus Roderick Strong for the number one contendership for the United Kingdom Championship.
Totally agree on that one. That was a fucking great match. Just what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I'm going to throw you guys all a curveball and say we need to rewatch something that actually did not happen. SmackDown Live, Tuesday night, we have the Usos launching a computer-generated aided promo in the ring, and they're doing pretty good all the way to the end, and then all of a sudden, here come the music for the Bludgeon Brothers. They come out towards the ring, and the Usos start going to the back, and they only sort of look at each other, and nothing happens? What? Are you kidding me? Talk about your blown opportunities. And then, of course, the Bludgeon Brothers go to the ring to murder a couple of local jobbers. But, yeah, look at that again and see how we could have done it better, WWE.
Hey, I also want to note about the on-screen graphics they were putting for Lockdown, and then they had actual jail cell locks going on the screen.
Oh, God, yes. We're seeing the memification of SmackDown, if not the entire WWE.
Yeah,
it's insane making.
They did during Nakamura's entrance, they had that scroll across the screen that said
Rockstar.
Yeah,
what was that?
He's a Rockstar guy.
Awful. You know what's even worse?
Get it? Do you get it? Occam's razor guy.
We get it.
Do you get it?
Stop.
Down.
You know what's worse? The backstage promos with those cell phones and those and the goddamn we're gonna put words over the text over the thing so that
it's memes. It's memes.
I swear to God, I'm just waiting for them to do one of those with like the fucking crying, laughing emojis, and it's like, who did this?
Dude, my favorite this week was when the ticker came up with the tweets and it was going like 100 miles an hour.
Right.
He couldn't read shit. It was going so fast.
Wait a second. You don't spell relic with a K. Okay.
Wait. Backwards. Samus Dog, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
You guys should all watch from the new beginning from New Japan, the U.S. heavyweight title match, Kenny Omega versus Knife Pervert Jay Whiteo. Jay White 100% redeems himself for whatever that was at Wrestle Kingdom.
What should we watch this week in wrestling?
I already said.
Yeah.
I already said.
All right, you got yours? All right. I just wanted to double check. I didn't want to forget you. Omega BR, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Did somebody say Mixed Match Challenge yet?
You bastard! You bastard!
You took it away from Gunner.
The match itself was nothing to write home about, but the interaction between Braun and Alexa, not just on the show, but the pre-match vignettes where they're giving each other shirts and he's trying to teach her how to lift a car. I mean, normally I would be kind of like, it's Braun. He's like the top monster and everything. He shouldn't be doing this casual, candid, hokey, shouldn't be talking this much. But, I enjoy it. I think it's entertaining, so I can't be mad about it.
I feel important. Sorry for 2 seconds, but I feel important to bring up this little thing that several people said on Woo. This whole alliance is built around somebody's semi-fantasy fan fiction about a giant ogre falling in love and schlepping a pixie. That's it right there.
No, but okay.
Well, it's the same reason that Naya and Enzo were a thing.
Right.
Reversed.
Exactly. Could you? Oh my God! Now I'm mad. Oh wait, no. Double date Valentine's Day. Drew Gulak, Braun Strowman, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss. It's
that would actually that would be amazing. Just because Bliss and Nia are such good friends in real life, that would be fucking awesome. I'd watch.
Yeah, and Braun shows up with a tie and no shirt.
Oh my God! Yes,
he shows up in his gear and a tie.
Here.
Yeah, basically.
And he's got flowers, and then Gulak's all dressed up, and he's going on the date with Nia, and they go out to a restaurant, and like Braun breaks the table by putting his fork down or something, and oh God, I see it now. It would be great, and then all of a sudden it's shot like the Daniel Bryan Kane in the
yes, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Braun goes to pull Alexa's chair out for her and hurls it across the room.
Right, exactly.
Or it just crumbles in his hand.
He can't not throw chairs. Which will be a thing. Now I'm disappointed this isn't real. God damn it.
Yeah, that still could be. I mean, let's be honest. They're not giving Braun the spot, which they should. But as long as they're not, then let him do this.
Let me just say, go back and watch. The most important thing about Raw last week, honestly, to go with my secondary choice, it's more Braun Strowman, because I am officially 100% committed to Braun Strowman. I think that he is a great talent. He's really funny. He's really genuine. He's super strong. He is still sort of a little green, but he's fantastic.
Welcome to what everyone else has been for like a year.
Yep, pretty much. I think that he's finally won me over completely. But his interview with Corey Graves on the stage after his Last Man Standing match was perfect. I believe the quote was, if Kurt Angle said this was the Last Man Standing match, I did my job. Braun. It was a great interview. It was it's perfectly logical. It's exactly what Braun does. He flips things over. He throws people around. He destroys things. It's great.
That's why I'm a little wary about the mixed match challenge stuff. But again, as long as they're not giving him the spot, they might as well.
I just want to say, if we're just going to talk about Braun for a little bit longer, just why not? He's amazing. This is the first time that they've ever had someone successfully do a smart monster gimmick. No one thinks Braun Strowman is dumb.
Yes,
they just think he's just insane, but no one thinks he's dumb. He's clearly very smart. It's perfect, and they don't ram it down your throat either. And he's not doing a fucking Rubik's cube during a promo.
Oh, Jesus!
Right, he talks about making wine.
I just enjoy the fact that Braun Strowman is a very real and approachable character.
We need the blender gimmick back, dude. Fuck these Canaanite assholes. We need the wine maker.
We do need the vintner back. I'm not gonna lie. All right, everybody. That's it for this week. Thank you all very much for listening. We really appreciate it. Thank you all for subscribing to the YouTube. I know I spent a whole bunch of time asking you guys personally to come subscribe to it. Thank you all for coming to the show. And we'll definitely provide you more content here coming up in the future. Every Thursday night around 9 o'clock Eastern, we will be live. This is WrestleMania season. This is my favorite time of year. I say this every year, and I'm just so hyped to share our enthusiasm about professional wrestling, football, MMA, boxing, whatever else you want to put out there for us. We'll talk about it more than likely on this show. So, for the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for subscribing. I'd like to thank podcastthemes.com for providing our theme song. I'd like to thank everybody here today who's been a part of our show and who has contributed. And just remember, we really, really appreciate if you go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will have a Patreon at some point. We do have a Patreon somewhere along the lines. But that's that's another problem that we can get into later on down the line. But thank you all for listening. I'm not even gonna say woo woo. I'm gonna drop that stuff for now because obviously it's our close to a certain extent. But I think it's about time that we moved on and we did something of our own. So thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Mike, you can still do this thing though.
Good night, Yoda.
And good morning, Vietnam.
No. Omega does his thing, and then that's the last thing.
Agreed.
Well, screw you all.
Don't you threaten me with a good